Today, I will introduce you to the framework for continuous professional development of teachers. And this is the exact guidelines of the point-based system. That's the teacher continuous professional development and portfolio building. So today, we are going to look at the introduction to that. And it says that broadly, teachers continuous professional development, TCPD, is a systematic and sustained process by which a teacher not only maintains but also improves and expands his or her professional knowledge, values, and skills. The Teachers Continuous Professional Development Framework, TCPD framework, is designed by the National Teaching Council, NTC, of Ghana and formalizes a teacher's responsibility and commitment to being a professionally competent and relevant practitioner or facilitator. The framework serves as a guide for teachers, educational directors or education directors, teacher education service providers, that's the NTC service providers, and other stakeholders on provision of quality teacher training programs for in-service teachers. The framework has identified different activities which have been grouped as mandatory, rank-based, and recommended activities. The latter, which is the recommended activities, is also grouped into categories based on the complexity nature of the activities and level of involvement of the teacher. This is to ensure consistency in calculation of and validity in assigning credit points. Teachers at specific ranks are to assess activities from both the mandatory and the rank-based trainings. In addition, they are required to select any of the categories within the recommended trainings to meet a required TCPD point at that rank in a 3-year TCPD cycle. The teacher can access trainings from the employer either at the school level through PLC or as professional learning communities, and it involves the school-based, the departmental-based, or the cluster-based. And I have explained this in my previous video. On the community of practice, that is COP, that's the workshop for heads of institutions or the CISUs, the school improvement and support officers, or teachers for a particular subject, or teachers of a particular class, say BS3, Basic 3, Basic 1, or the Kindergarten 2, or teachers assigned with common roles and responsibilities. Such programs are mostly supply-driven, which means that such programs are not to be paid. Teachers can also use the Teachers Portal to access TCPD activities from accredited service providers on demand. And on demand here means that you are to pay. That's why it's on demand. Using demand and supply forces, using the economic terms. Or through development partners and NGOs working closely with the Ministry of Education are also certified to collaborate with district education officers to provide supply-driven programs to teachers. And in my video, how to identify genuine NTC service providers, I said in that video that we have what we call development partners or NGOs. An example is the Instill Education. Another example is the Commonwealth of Learning and others. That one, they provide the training free of charge, and you access their model online, either through Zoom meeting, either through Google Meet, or through their own website where you learn for free, and you are being given credit points for that. NTC will collaborate with National Inspectorate Board to monitor such trainings to ensure standards are met. So there will be supervision on that. The framework provides formulas for calculating TCPD points At their respective ranks, the framework provides formulas for calculating teacher continuous professional development points at their respective ranks. TCPD activities are documented in teachers' logbook as backup records, which are transposed to the teacher's online account. Names of certified activities are saved in the portal for CPD providers to select and award points to teachers who may attend that program. So all teachers should do well to get a copy of the teacher's logbook. Let me check if I can get a copy. So this is a copy of the teacher training logbook. So we have National Teaching Council, the teacher training logbook form. So we have form 1, which is the personal information of the teacher, and form 2 is the training history. I will make a video on how to fill the form. This is a copy of the teacher training logbook from NTC. This document has been provided by NTC to be used by teachers. But honestly speaking, some service providers have printed this document and they are selling it as far as 30 Ghana, 40 cities and 50 cities. I will not mention names, but I have had encountered 2, 3, 4 service providers who are selling this document for that amount. I will make a video on how to fill the document. That's the teacher training logbook. And we have 2 portions to fill. The first one is the teacher personal information, and the second one, that's the form 2, is the training history that has been attended by a particular teacher. So the training history is the total number of training that a teacher has attended. So let's go through. But as I said earlier, I'll make a video on how to fill the form. So this is the form 1. That's the personal information of the teacher. Then this is the second form. Is the training history. So all teachers should do well and get a copy of this particular document. If you don't have, you can WhatsApp me on 0247 607473, and I will give you a copy of this particular document, because this document is what we are going to keep track of our trainings, either being online or face to face. So the document says that in addition to the teacher continuous professional development point, teachers are also required to build their own portfolio for assessment. And these 2, that's the teacher continuous professional development point and the portfolio assessment grade, are used to determine the professional standing of the teacher. So example of this portfolio is this. I have the abstract here, so a detailed teaching portfolio of Mr. Mate Wisdom of Miasukobodi Junior High School with license number, so that's my license number, in the Fanchaka North District in the eastern region of Ghana. So this is the preamble to the portfolio. Then the TCPD point and the portfolio assessment will form what we call the professional standing of the teacher. So you could see that on our portal, NTC has added the professional standing, which means that without any of these, you can't renew your license. Without the CPD point, you can't renew your license. And without the portfolio assessment grade, you can't also renew your license. So you have to do both concurrently. Should a teacher meet the TCPD point requirement but failed in portfolio assessment or the other way, that teacher cannot renew his or her license and cannot practice as a teacher according to the Teacher Regulatory Act of Ghana. Teachers who accept postings to where the employer and the NTC define as the private area are given additional opportunities to access to demand-driving TCPD program, which shall be organized by the employer in collaboration with the NTC without any payment by the employee except for transportation and feeding. This simply means that we know that with the demand courses we have to pay, but those in the deprived areas, according to the geographical locations or demarcations of GES, some districts and some other circuits have been demarcated as deprived areas, and honestly my district happens to be one. So Fanchakwanov district happens to be one of the villages in West Africa, one of the villages in West Africa. Therefore, the employer, which is GES, in collaboration with NTC, has to organize 2 CPD programs for teachers in those districts, and the teachers are not to pay. So what we need to do is to put our employer on their toes. We have to inform them of this for them to organize 2 workshops for us so that we're able to accrue points from that. Now we are going to look at relevant sister institutions that also attend or partake in CPD workshops and also build point for their license renewal. So these are institutions that provide similar regulatory framework for professionals. A brief synopsis of such institutions provides foundational information to both teachers and teacher continuous professional development providers on the need to comply with this regulatory framework. In Ghana, the Nursing and Midwifery Council, NMC, the Dental and Medical Council, as well as Ghana Legal Council, have similar frameworks that guide the professional growth of their practitioners. Again, teachers in colleges of education in Ghana, that's CETAC, have since 2013 been attending TCPD programs once every week. This has enriched the professional competencies of tutors in Ghanaian colleges of education and has translated in their professional routines. In addition, all member countries of Africa Federation of Teaching Regulatory Authorities, such as Zambian Teaching Council, Teacher Registration Council of Nigeria, TLCN, and South African Council for Educators, are all operating under similar regulatory framework. It is therefore not limited to Ghanaian teachers alone. As a result, stakeholders are encouraged to embrace this framework and support its implementation to improve the academic achievement of the Ghanaian child, who is the ultimate beneficiary of this framework. It is believed that the future of the young generation in our country depends on a well-equipped and skillful teacher who is abreast of the modern trends of teaching and learning. This framework has therefore been designed as the operational document of the National Teacher Standards, with the surety that teachers will build their competencies, enhance their professional values, practices, and knowledge as they assess the relevant TCPD activities specified in this document. To achieve the purpose of this framework, NTC will enforce the implementation process, which is the responsibility of the employer and other accredited TCPD service providers. In addition, National Inspectorate Board shall support the DPDT and License Department of NTC to monitor teachers' training records and license. So our training records will be tracked and monitored. Also, any training materials developed by or for TCPD service providers shall be submitted to Department of Professional Development of Teachers in NTC for evaluation and accreditation before it will be used for training of teachers. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, share, and click on the notification bell because your comment is my life wire. YSB.